Hello students, myself Shomrat Pal. Here I am for presenting the topic on three-phase dual converter. First, we should know what is the utility of it for industry purpose. So before going to enter in this topic, go through the circuit diagram first. See, here you are using two converters as the name stands for dual converter. This is a converter 1 and this is the converter 2. And see, the switches which is involved for the converter 1, that is to the particular direction, in which the switches which is involved for converter 2, that is in the reverse direction. That means we can say here the both converter is connected in back to back connected, and load is there, is a highly inductive load is there, and a reactor, there is the same reactor, means the turns ratio of the reactor first, that is LR by 2, and the turns ratio of the reactor second, that is LR by 2. Same means the voltage appearing across the inductor, suppose VR by 2 and the VR by 2 both are same. Okay, now see how it can work. When the first converter starts working, then the current starts flowing to the load in this direction, remaining the other converter in off. If the second converter starts working and remaining the first one is off, then the current starts flowing in this direction. That means first converter, when it was in working state, the direction of the current is this one, and the second converter, when it is in working state, then the direction of the current is this one. That means if the converter both converters starts working at any instant, then the voltage developed across the load is 0. If we are maintaining the same triggering pulse for the first converters and for the second converters. This is called circulating mode of operation. That means what? No voltage is appearing across load, but due to the instantaneous voltage difference, a current which is flowing throughout the circuit between two converters, which is called circulating current. That is why, and the current which circulates across the two converter end and the reactor, that is called circulating mode of operation. That means we can consider the two mode of operation here, that is non-circulating mode of operation, in which one converter can work, or in circulating mode operation in which both converter starts working with the exact firing angle, then the no voltage is appearing across load. Okay, now see what is the use for industry purpose. We are going to explain it. I'm trying to explain it in brief. See, suppose we consider two converters here. Okay, there is a converter 1, that is converter 2, converter 1, converter 2, and a reactor is there, and load means we are applying a drive load here or any DC motor. That means what? When the first converter starts, and we know the position of the converter, they are actually back to back connected. So direction of the switches are in opposite for the both purpose. And now when suppose we are applying the triggering pulse same, that is suppose alpha 1 for the first converter is 60 degree and alpha 2 it will be 180 degree minus 60 degree, it will give you 120 degree. That means we are applying the same triggering pulse here. Okay. That means what? When the first converter starts working, then the current starts flowing to the load in this direction. Okay. Suppose then the machine starts moving in clockwise direction. And when we are applying the next triggering pulse, suppose 120 degree, similar to first one, to the second converter, then the current starts flowing this direction. As we know, as they are back-to-back connected, that is why voltage appearing across the load, this one is positive and negative, and it will be positive and it is negative. That is why the direction of the current is always opposite. That means, see, when the first converter starts working, remaining the second one is off, then the current starts flowing to the load and the machine starts moving with suppose clockwise direction. Similarly, when the second converter starts working, remaining the first one is off, then the current starts flowing this direction. Then suppose the machine starts moving with anti-clockwise direction. That means what? That means we can say we can control the direction of the speed by using converters. That is a major application for non-circulating mode of operation for industry purpose. Okay, that means it will cover 4 quadrant automatically. As we know, due to presence of the first converter, it will cover the first quadrant operation, and due to inductive load, a machine load is there, that is a 4 quadrant operation. So this can be defined by the first converter. When remaining the second one is off, and when the second converter starts working in the reverse direction, motor starts working, then it will cover third and second quadrant operation, as they are working in the reverse direction with respect to first. That means it can cover, and here we know it is the current I0 and that is V0. For the first quadrant, we know all the cases, that is voltage and current both are positive. In this case, the voltage is negative, current is positive. In the third quadrant operation, as we know, that is voltage is negative and current is negative. And the second quadrant operation, as we know, that is current is negative but the voltage is positive. That means we can say they are actually operating just in opposite direction for the both converter. That is why machine starts working maybe clockwise or somehow maybe anti-clockwise direction. This is the application. So we can control the speed of the machine to a particular direction or direction control. So it can be easily applicable for the hoist mechanism, or somehow it can be applicable for the lift mechanism, where the both direction machine starts working maybe clockwise and anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so this is the application part. Now go to the circuit diagram for further explain the working principle of the converter. So this is the circuit diagram. Okay, so I think it's better to understand as the useful of the converter. This is the first converter and the second converter. Load is there and inductor is there. Now go to the waveforms. In the previous section, we have discussed about the all working principle due to presence of the full converter, and then we had found that when the first converter starts working, means the converter 1, then the all dotted lines, means all the arrows are given over here, and the voltage difference, that is VAN minus VBN, that is VAB. Okay, similarly the voltage difference across the VAN minus VCN, that is VAC. That means it's a normal working state for the converter 1. That means from the circuit diagram we can easily say the first converter is useful only for which purpose? Only for the positive purpose, means positive peak purpose. They can applicable only for the arrows which is given over here. Okay, but we never mention the blank part which is not defined by the arrows, that will be now applicable for the second converters, as they are back to back connected ends the triggering pulse when you are applying the both purpose, then the both will develop the voltage in reverse direction. That is why if the first converter is working for the arrows, so second will be obviously working for the non-arrow part. Okay, that is why, see, as we know, the developed voltage, that is the which is the voltage which is appearing across the load, that is the line voltage, means the difference between two phase voltage. That is why we have explained before, it is VAB. Now for when the second converter starts working and the same region, what will be the voltage appearing across load? In the similar way, we can say the potential difference between two line voltage that is appearing across the load for the second converter starts working. That is why we consider that this region, that means VBN minus VCN. That means VBC. Got my point? Okay. Similarly, again for the next case, for the second converter, the potential difference, the voltage appearing across the load, that should be VBN, line phase voltage, minus VAN. That is why that is VAB. Similarly, all the case we can consider this is the voltage pattern. For non-circulating mode of operation, as we know, both converter will develop the same amount of voltage but in opposite direction. That is well defined by these two axes. That is VOB for the first converter output and VO2, that is the second converter output. And this is all the given the line voltage is appearing across load. Right? Now, circulating current, how it can develop? Obviously, there must have some difference for instantaneous voltage developed by the two converters separately. That is why think about one particular region, suppose this region or this region. What happened? So before going into the topic, we are make the another mode axis that is defined by this one, which is very needful for further demonstrate in an easy way of the topic. That is what we are taking, just mirror image. That means converter 2 which can develop minus VOC. Mirror image means just opposite of VO2. That means it will give you VO2. That means minus VO2 is converted to VO2 and by these waveforms. That is why if the waveforms is suppose VBC is looking like this, so it's a mirror image which will give you that this is the image or waveforms. Now we can add the both rectified output from the both two converters as both are appearing across load. That means now for calculating or to form the waveform of the instantaneous voltage difference, that is VO1 minus VO2, that means we can say VO1 plus VO2. So easily we can add these two waveforms which will provide you the instantaneous voltage difference. That is well defined by here. See, that means we have taken this particular region and this region, okay, where VAB is involved, pi by 6 plus alpha 2, pi by 2 plus alpha 1, and in where VBC means minus VBC, right? VBC is involved. So after adding these two parts, which will give this kind of shape, which is called the instantaneous voltage difference. So how can it possible? Okay, so I am maintaining a process. Just see my process carefully. That means first, again notice in this particular region, pi by 6 plus alpha 2, pi by 2 plus alpha, VAB is a kind of shape and VBC is a kind of shape. Okay. Now you can draw the shape in the another platform. Suppose we can consider the particular region. Okay. In the particular region, suppose the shape of the VAB is this one, and in that particular region, the shape of the VBC is this one, right? This is VAB and this is VBC. How can it provide the instantaneous voltage waveform? Now see, do one thing. Actually, you are adding these two signal. Okay, so we are adding these two signal. Okay, whenever we can add these two signal, okay, in the same region, then what happen? Now see, in the same region or same time duration, what happen? And we are taking the middle half of the two axes. This axis is what? That is pi by 6 plus alpha 1 to pi by 2 plus alpha 1, right? So in this particular region, what happened? See, that means from this diagram, from these two waveforms, we can say the area of the first waveform and the area of the second waveform is similar to each other. So we can cancel this part. Okay, I repeat, the area, whenever we are trying to add these two signals or add these two waveforms, then the area of this particular upper wave and the area of the lower wave, I'm talking about the VAB and VBC, both are same in magnitude. So automatically we can cancel this part as the area are same. So ultimately the remaining area is which one? This one. So we can draw this part just similar in this way. This is the part. And similarly, we can draw this part also, right? In this way, this is this way. Okay. So it's very clear to everyone how it can provide the instantaneous voltage waveform in this way. Okay. It's very interesting part. That means again we can say is a difference between VAB minus VBC, which will give you this kind of wave shape, which is confined between the region pi by 6 plus alpha to pi by 2 plus alpha. So go to the waveforms. Now it can easily identified by all of you. Now see, that means we can easily identify at the region of pi by 6 plus alpha 1 to pi by 6 plus 2 alpha, that is VAB, and that is VBC, and the mirrored image, that is VBC. After adding these two parts, this one plus this one, which will provide you this kind of wave shape. Clear? That means pi by 6 plus alpha 1 to pi by 2 plus alpha 2, this is the wave shape. So it can be further applicable for calculating the circulating current across the inductor. Okay, now do the calculation part as I'm trying to follow this way of application, way of calculation part. That means line to neutral voltage R is known by everyone as we are using the three-phase signal, that is VAN equal to Vm sin omega t and Vbn equal to Vm sin omega t minus 2 pi by 3 and Vcn equal to Vm sin omega t plus 2 pi by 3. As we know, as the three-phase signals are connected, that is why the phase-to-phase difference is 120 degree apart from other phases. And the corresponding line to line voltage, just I have discussed in the previous section, and we have calculated in details, which will give you, that is root 3 Vm sin omega t plus pi by 6, root 3 Vm sin omega t minus pi by 2, root 3 Vm sin omega t plus pi by 6. That means we are talking about the signal of this one as we discussed before, that is in the particular region, that is pi by 6 plus alpha 1 to pi by 2 plus alpha 1, the instantaneous voltage difference, that is VAB minus VBC. Just we will do it same thing for the calculation purpose. That means if V01 and V02 are the output voltage of the converter 1 and converter 2 respectively, the instantaneous voltage across the inductor during interval pi by 6 plus alpha 1 to pi by 2 plus alpha 1, that will give you VR equal to VO1 plus VO2 or VAB minus VBC. Clear? Okay. So for further calculation we have made by in this way. That is, so VR equal to, as VAB just mentioned before, we have just put the value of the VAC, VAB and VBC. Okay. So after simplification, we will get, that is, root 3 Vm sin omega t plus pi by 6 minus sin omega t minus pi by 2. So it's a simple trigonometric equation, that is sin A minus sin B, that can be means defined by 2 cos A plus B sin A minus B. Similar, in this way we can have calculated this part. Again, further implementation, we will get the result, that is root 3 Vm 2 cos omega t minus pi by 6 sin pi by 3. So ultimately, through this simplification form, we will get the result, that is 3 root 3 Vm cos omega t minus pi by 6. So this is the result for VR. Now we are going to calculate the circulating current. Okay, and this VR means difference between VAB and VBC. So the circulating current expression across the inductor IRT, that is equal to 1 by omega LR integration of pi by 6 plus alpha 1 to omega t. Why we are taking this omega t term? As the circulating current waveform is mentioned by, suppose we know the circulating current developed in the each cycle, means it will develop like this one, the voltage is developed by this one, and this voltage is responsible to creating the circuit, that is omega t axis. So we cannot define it in a particular confined region, that is defined by the omega t axis, that will start from the pi by 6 plus alpha 1 point to omega t. Okay, so in this way we are having the value, that is pi by 6 plus alpha 1 to omega t. Now the remaining parts are very easy. It's a simple simplification part, that is the next step. In this step C, we have changed one thing, that is, we know that is 3 Vm is the means the instantaneous voltage difference, that is 3 Vm cos omega t minus pi by 6, just I have discussed before, and we can change the term omega t plus minus pi by 6 with respect to the limit part. Okay, that is why what I have done, I have done it, see, this minus pi by 6 is added to omega t and added to pi by 6 plus alpha 1, then it will give you omega t minus pi by 6 and alpha 1. Now this is a very simple way to calculate the further simplification part. So now you can calculate this 3 Vm by omega LR integration of alpha 1 to pi by 6, and we know the cos alpha 1, that is the integration which will give you the sin omega t, that is sin omega t, and considering the upper limit and the lower limit, so ultimately we will reach the expression, this one, which will give the instantaneous value of current expression, that is defined by 3 Vm by omega LR, third bracket, that is sin under first bracket omega t minus pi by 6 minus sin alpha 1. So this is a simple, very simple application for industry and to calculate the circulating current expression during circulating mode of operation. But you keep it in your mind that the during circulating